Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to this Season 10, Week 7 matchup of Budget Toucans versus Beyblade's Bonanza Extravaganza. What a beautiful name of these two teams in the high division fighting for these playoff spots, wanting to secure them in this final week of gamesmanship, whatever you want to say. I'm, of course, joined out here tonight by my beautiful man, Beater, and John on camera. Beater, man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to my first Highlander cast ever, and it looks like it's going to be a cracker of a game with two teams that both are looking to make the playoffs, and it should be pretty close. I looked at the tables, and it's very close. Budget Toucans definitely looking, they're in second place at the moment with 28 points, and we have then a three-way tie coming after that, where Beyblade, Bonanza, Extravaganza are on a fifth place. But, you know, if they win tonight, they're definitely going into the playoffs, so should be very close. I looked at the results of Beyblade, Bonanza, and they haven't lost a single golden cap in the entire season. So if nothing else, they're clutch, you know. So I'm thinking it should be a very close game. And these maps are both pretty. Like, I kind of like that we're playing on Viaduct or Product, I think is the pro name here. You know, because there will be no ties on this map. So, you know, maybe that favors Budget Toucans, or maybe not. But either way, one team will get a lot of points, and they will have the playoff spot all but secured, or at least make some very good strides into it. So, yeah, should be good. Should be good. Very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, as you said, these maps are fantastic, especially, you know, you're this first Highlander cast. Viaduct is probably most players, or product, or whatever you want to call it, product. So many different names they try to rename it to, but either way, it's always a great matchup, or at least creates a really great matchup. Koth maps and Highlander always produce really interesting results, especially if you have two teams that are really going back and forth with it, which is tend to like what you have. Even if it's like a one-sided matchup, even if one team 3-0s it, you can still have an incredibly great matchup. But Gully Wash is a map that tends to kind of be the inverse of that, where one team will just generally dominate it, and they will consistently dominate it through the entire half. Unless it's like, again, unless you have like a really close matchup, but it tends to be one team tends to take all of the points. But it'll be interesting because we are going to be watching the high division, and when it comes to Gully Wash in particular, it really comes down to team coordination and aggression. Aggression is going to win you games on 5CP maps when it comes to Highlander. And it'll be interesting to see, as we're playing in high, you know, it's not the Prem division, is that team coordination still going to be at the Prem level? It's still going to be at a high enough level that it needs to be at in order to see really decisive pushes and decision-making when it comes to 5CP maps. And that'll be something we'll be looking forward tonight. But coming out on Viaduct initially, as I said, it's one of my favorite maps. Have you played much Viaduct yourself? I mean, are you a fan of the map, Beater?
I really hate it in sixes, but I think it's quite all right for Highlander. I think it's a very enclosed map. It feels like there's not enough room on it, you know. So it ends up you get a lot of action. So at least watching it, I've always really liked Viaduct, and kind of the same for Gully Wash. Even though Gully Wash is kind of slower, as you say, it's also a pretty enclosed map. You know, it's a small map for sixes, so when you play it with Highlander and fill it with even more players, action just keeps happening all the time. And I really like in the way Viaduct, where normally you would have like a suicide if your medic doesn't have the Uber, but you can't really do that in Highlander because the only place your medic can be 100% safe is in spawn, and you don't really want to leave your medic in spawn while having basically 4 classes maybe do a suicide. So usually you see your medic run out really early, and then there's a chance he can get picked, so it's kind of risky. And high risk, high reward kind of play is always fun to watch. So that should be very exciting, at the very least. I'd like to know, what do you do when you don't have an Uber advantage on this map?
It kind of depends from team to team. If you don't have an Uber advantage, sometimes you'll just try to push before the enemy medic gets Uber advantage, because the thing is that if you can push and create trades before the enemy medic can get his Uber to be able to defend the point, every trade you make, I mean, the thing I think is really important in Highlander in particular when it comes to pushing is utilizing your respawn time advantage. And what I mean by that, for any viewers who are not familiar with it, is basically that when your team does not control the point, so when you are trying to attack the point, your team respawns about half like half as quick. So the enemy team might have a respawn timer of 16 seconds. You'll have a respawn timer of about 8. So every time you trade, if I die and I kill a soldier and I'm a soldier, that means I've given my team an advantage because I'm going to get respawned that much quicker. Now, there's things that can offset it, the teleporters and different stuff like that. But I generally find like Highlander trying to use the respawn timer advantage and just trying to get aggressive. Besides that, obviously, as you said, suicide waves tend to work out. You don't see them as much in Highlander. It really depends on the team and their coordination level. A lot of teams seem to struggle with coordinating, the pushes. I mean, you're talking with 9 people inside Mumble trying to get that together. Sometimes can be a little bit rough, and you might just like wait it out. Honestly, is like one of the things that's not uncommon at all, because teams generally will not push with uber advantage. They generally will not use it to try to kill the enemy medic unless the other team's medic is like drastically out of position. Usually you'll just try to hold on to it and wait for a push to come in, and then you'll trade ubers, and then you'll just kind of fight after that. And the other thing that you can also do is that you'll see sometimes with teams, particularly really good teams, kind of doing the other thing for suiciding for medic, is that if you lose your medic, everybody puts their foot on the gas pedal. Everybody just walks forward across the point, tries to make a play onto the enemy medic, tries to get them down. So you at least will be even Ubers or at a slight advantage, kind of after all is said and done. And so we'll see kind of with the different strategies from each of these teams. One of the other interesting things kind of that we've seen, at least in the North American side and kind of watching a little bit of the EU side, that has kind of happened with Viaduct, is we don't see a lot of forward holding as we get the countdown happening here. And we're going to be live, so welcome out everybody as both teams. We got Toucans versus Beyblades out here on Viaduct, and I will let you get the opening call here as we come out to the mid-fight.
Sure, Kuiper seems to jump ahead really aggressively. He's so aggressive, but he's going to get rushed down by a scout. Yeah, gets taken down straight away. The soldier trying to jump up to the high ground, but he gets taken down straight away as well. This is looking very poor for the Beybladers, or maybe I got the teams around, but Red is just not having a good day right here. It looks like the medic might be able to get out alive, but that was just a disaster. The demo jumped in so aggressively there and just got taken down straight away, and then the soldier followed in completely alone, ran into a heavy, and even got headshotted, I think. So just a complete car crash up in mid-fight there.
Yeah, and we're going to see Toucans holding on to the Kritzkrieg right now as they have 100%. And I'm trying to see what the other medic is on. I believe he should be on Medigun, yes. So medic is going to be coming up to 84%. So that Kritzkrieg is going to be nullified if played correctly, as long as Pop does not get killed off here, as he's at 94%. They want to push up onto this cliff side right now. Peace holding on to the Kritzkrieg as Kolpa is going to be standing on the point. Here comes Uber across the point, putting down some stickies, down onto Peace, not able to connect anything as the Pyro is doing a good job of air blasting the back. Fizz getting across the point. That's a heavy man right now, but the Kritzkrieg still not popped off. Peace in the far backhand side. Are they going to be pushed at the point? And here it goes, the Kritzkrieg coming across the point, but no, nothing's happening. Soldier jumps in, gets some damage onto the man, but able to keep himself alive. But the Spy not able to make a play as well, but the point did go down in the favor of Beyblade, but it should be easily taken back there by nice job by Toucans kiting that Uber.
Yeah, very good job. And Silver Tosspot actually gets the medic as well. Great cleanup by Silver Tosspot. Gets 3 nice kills. That was a complete wipe. Oh my god. I keep forgetting which team is red.
That is going to be Beyblade. It's on
That's
red.
Beybladers, okay. Beyblader in a lot of trouble. Silver Tosspot might have overextended here quite a bit. It looks like he's going to get out alive. Nope, he gets taken down right away. So that's 2 picks coming out here. So maybe they can make it happen. Walnut is in a position where he's got a pretty good view. Maybe he can get a pick. But Peace almost has his Kritzkrieg ready to go. It's on 90%, and if the Beybladers are not careful, they will just get completely dunked on. The medic is very far forward, and the demo has just spotted him. So I think, yeah, here we go. Here comes the crits. Spot the medic right away. Gets 3 nice kills straight away. And here's an NT as well. Gets taken down. So great crits there coming out. Walnut avenges them, but that's way too late. So just once again, we see, looks like this Kritzkrieg is not something that they're used to dealing with. The medic was just basically ran into it, and they knew it was a Kritzkrieg. So odd combination there.
Yeah, I don't really know what the positioning coming out of the red team there, Beyblades, was. The medic going so far forward. You know, as you said, the other medic's going to have 100%. Like, that's an incredibly huge risk. If the medic stayed alive in that situation, you'd actually have a pretty massive Uber advantage to be able to push into the enemy team. Now, once again, the Uber is going to be at a disadvantage to the Kritzkrieg that's currently at 70% and building that much faster. Here comes a big suicide jump coming in. Downman as well as a soldier trying to get some damage down, but Peace is able to keep it alive. No, he goes down behind Peter, gets him right before he's able to get the med pack, and that should prompt a push out of the red team if they want it, but currently everybody is down right now. With 3 seconds for most of the respawns to come back up, we should see a push out of Beyblade right now, and maybe a little bit of light for them as their medic is up at 85% for this next push.
Yep, it looks like they're gonna go in through right side here, going to go through up those stairs maybe. That's always a very uncomfortable position. No, they're gonna go underneath. I like this. And here comes the Uber. Just Uber's in the demo man and the heavy, pushes everyone back. They get 2 picks right away. Oh no, it's actually just the sentry. So they got 1 pick forward, but they get the ground. But actually, the pyro overextends here, so it looks like they might actually get counter pushed. They're going to get the cap point, but is it enough? Like, they're just slowly bleeding players, and I think if we see any kind of counter push coming out, Beybladers will just crumble, and crumbling they are, as they still haven't been able to capture the point. But here we go, easy recap, and that Uber looked pretty good, but they just didn't get any kills out of it. Everyone just retreated really well. The Toucans were just... yeah, they retreated really well and got out of there alive. There's actually a scout trying to get in, and they actually get the Uber force. Great job there. But the medic is once again way too far forward. He gets taken out. They had to push. Yeah. So great play coming out there. I still think the medic being out of position there quite a bit cost his team a lot.
Well, it seems like the entire enemy team being a little bit out of position. I mean, the medic obviously is going to be the big one right there, though, as they're going to come out onto second mid-fight. Currently, Toucans up 1-0 in this one half of best of 3 that we're going to be playing here. Delman goes down again very early on. Here comes a soldier, as well as a scout coming down, taking down the mech, as well as a soldier, and just absolute mayhem coming onto the Beyblades right now, but they are able to keep themselves alive as the soldiers trying to do just that, pushing across the point, as well as with the pyro, but the heavy's going to drop down off that rock and easily clean them up, and there you go, Toucans taking the second mid-fight for the team and looking incredibly strong here as they continue to defend this point and capture down as Macy. And look at Copa, he's just overextending again, just dying, and I know Beyblade just seems to struggle with their positioning. I feel like they're just playing so cocky, but they don't have the DM to back it up or something. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with them, but they need to get a little bit better coordination in their positioning to make sure they're pushing together.
Yeah, the demo man, I think he really needs to rethink his mid-fights. He's just being so aggressive, and he gets taken down every single time, just straight away. Like, even if he didn't get sniped, he would have gotten rushed down by a scout once again. So now we see a full Uber advantage for the team. The medic, once again, the red medic is probably really far forward, and if he gets popped upon, he could be in a lot of trouble. There's actually a soldier on him, but it looks like he will be able to get out alive with his life. So that was actually a pretty effective sort of suicide push. They traded a lot of players, but now they will have the respawn advantage. So we'll see how they make use of that. Ubers are now completely even, so we can just get a dry push, or an Uber into a crit streak push coming out. And if he's not careful, he will just get crushed. But we'll see what they do about it. Pieces going far forward. Yeah, here we go. An Uber into the crit streak. So this should be the Uber. And so far the Uber is coming out ahead. But no, just as I say that, everyone just, melts on red side. And Shaggy's just doing a ton of work. Finally gets taken down by a spy sniper there. As the other sniper gets picked down. But, man, Peace is just never dying here, it seems. And even though he has a crits against an Uber, it's just... his team is just still able to get all those picks.
Well, it just seems that the Beyblades are not able to get deep enough onto this point. They pushed through main there, but they got flanked from 3 different sides as soon as that Uber was up and just got absolutely dominated when trying to retreat. I don't know if they just are not getting deep enough. I mean, maybe they need a Uber in the demo man or soldier to kind of extend behind the scenes and kind of create a distraction. Because right now, they're all kind of grouping up in the way that they're pushing it. It's kind of creating an easy way to do this. But actually, as I say that, oh no, it's just the spy, I think, dead ringing. I was excited maybe they got a pick out of that, but Fizz does go down, so no heavy for this push. But Silver Toss also does go down as well as a spy. But it looks like they're trying to get aggressive off of this concrete side, trying to find something as they're currently 2 minutes off the clock in the favor of the Toucans, and they're not looking to give this up anytime soon. The walnut goes down from Jellies with a nice headshot.
Shaggy gets crits here. They find the medic straight away. Actually gets the heavy with the help of a soldier. And the counter does come in, but just everyone's just getting picked off. Just the sniper going absolutely ham. Just doming people left, right, and center. Only 2 people up. Crucial, the medic did survive that, but now there's only 25 seconds left, so they might just be better off trying to go vaccinate or something. I assume that's allowed. So, you can maybe get a few charges going in. But this is looking really dire for them. They haven't put a single second on the timer yet. And they have to push into this medic here that just never dies. So here we go. See Peter actually trying to just jump up and take attention. And we actually see a spy coming in getting a crucial pick. They're getting a lot of room here, but now they're just getting completely overwhelmed. and only the poor Angie here is the only one alive, and that's a complete wipe. Just emphatic round win here coming out for the Beybladers.
Yeah, it's yeah, nice job there of them holding on to the point. That's going to put it 2-0 up in the favor of Toucans right now, as they're continuing looking incredibly strong coming into this third mid fight. But it seems just that the Beyblades cannot get aggressive enough across point. They can't get a suicide wave. They can't kill Peace. They're doing such a good job of Toucans are playing around their medic, making sure he doesn't die, and Peace is keeping great positioning to also not put himself in a bad spot.
Yeah, Koipe's being slow this time. I really like that. But even though he's slow, he's still in a lot of trouble. He's about to get taken on by a soldier. But still, the entire team is just taking it slowly. But still, 2 picks have come out from the Beybladers straight away. And, wow. Yeah, just this is just looking so rough. Like, just the sheer presence of blue is continually causing the entire red team to having to back off. The sniper even getting rushed down by a spy. He's gonna get helped out by the rest of his team. That was a dead ringer. He's fine. But man, Koipe did mix it up this time, but he still got taken out really quickly, so he just gets focused so hard.
Yeah, and Poth also went down in that exchange, so no medic here. They're going to be at a decent disadvantage right now, as Peace is still holding on to, I believe that is, yes, again, still the Kritzkrieg, and we'll see what they want to do with this, but nobody's really getting aggressive, no jumping across the point, but Macy in a good spot. Here comes the soldier up onto the rock side. Scout doing a good job of getting free damage. The Kritzkrieg should come out here, and yes, it does, onto the Devilman, and no, right there, down onto the medic, as well as the soldier, as well as the scout, and there you go, keeping him alive. Peace does go down there from the Devilman, and that might be the saving grace of this, as they're going to have to push back onto the point. The point did go down in the favor of Beyblade, so they did lose their medic, but they should be able to push back right away, as Peace is going to be on a 7-second respawn, but all the respawns are back up for the red team, and they should be able to push back if they want to right away.
Yeah, Mezzo, the engineer, actually managed to get a ton of kills at the tail end of that entire fight. So this should set it up for his team, the Beybladers, to go forward here. See 42 on the ridge. He's getting ready to jump, I think. And we actually see a spy very close to the medic. I think he's in a good position, but no, he gets spotted. So that's not going to have too much of an effect. But here we go. I think they're about to get a pick onto a soldier, and no. Actually, the spy just jumps into the face of the heavy and backstabs him. That's TF2 for you. And just once again, it just looks like Beybladers are just not able to capitalize on their small advantages. They're just too slow. And then, I don't know if it's the lack of DM or awareness or both, but they're just struggling so hard to make any kind of dent into the budget Toucans.
Well, it seemed like they were a little bit scared there, so they had the advantage, or at least both teams. I mean, they had the advantage because they were at a respawn advantage. And, Poth, yeah, Poth, nice headshot, Jelly, taking that, and there you go. That's going to give Peace 100% Kritzkrieg advantage. Actually, he's still on Kritzkrieg. And but no, it just seemed like they were just a little bit too timid. They're like kind of walking up to the point, they just kind of stop. Soldier tries to make a play there, gets easily taken out. Peace still be able to hold on to this as the frags are just coming down easily in the favor of Toucan as the time is ticking down in their favor as well. Poth is going to overextend here trying to get onto the point, but he's not even with anybody right now. He just ran up by himself. And I think that's kind of the nature of the game going on today, is just a little bit of miscoordination coming out of Beyblades as Toucan still continuing to hold on to this point.
Yeah, we see a spy now behind them, trying to poke holes and distract as the rest of his team walks forward. So we see, once again, all of red is just hiding behind the rock at the moment, but they're not really making any headway. And here comes the crits, actually on a soldier. Now they switch it to the demo. No picks so far. Just as I say that, all the picks come in, and there's everyone going down for Beybladers. Man, that is rough. Walnut trying to fight this NG. Come on, Walnut. No, gets punched down by a metallic hand of Cerno. And just once again, finally we actually did see the medic go down. Peace is dead. So we actually have an uber advantage coming out, but there's only 10 seconds left. 42 is fighting along. People actually gets a nice pick here. So maybe this is what the Beyblades have been looking for. They're going in now. Koipe pipes the soldier, but that might not be enough. There is a lot of time on the point, and the medic is under a ton of pressure as this Pyro takes down the demo with the help of the sniper. Now he wants the medic too. Can this... No, he doesn't get him, as the spy actually saves the medic there. So Peace gets out alive, and now they... Beybladers, they get the point, but now there are only 2 people up, so we could just see a quick recap here, and that's going to be very hard to deal with, and that will be 3-0. Really strong win coming out here for budget Toucans. Very strong.
Yeah, very, very strong. As they were just they kept a great job of kind of being able to kite all of the Ubers and whatnot. And we're going to come into the Gully Wash right now, and this is going to be very difficult for, I believe, Beyblades to be able to come back in this, because the biggest thing that they struggled with that game is being able to be smartly aggressive. They were aggressive at times, but then it was like 1v5 fights that they would end up taking, or something just like really bad. Or they'd be too timid if when they did have an advantage, or at least an even spot where they'd be able to push into, they seem to just kind of be like, oh, well, who's going to go forward? What do we want to do with that? And it's like, in those situations where, they actually like had a chance, I think, in that third round, where they probably played the best, in my opinion. They're kind of pushing up onto the point, but nobody wanted to get forward. Nobody wanted to put like the capture time onto the point. I'm just not exactly sure kind of where they were going wrong, but it seemed kind of just like nobody really wanted to take that initiative to force, Toucans to have to respond to them. Toucans was always the one who were setting the agenda. And so here we come out onto Gully Wash, and I don't know, I'll be hard-pressed to believe that Beyblades would be able to do anything besides not lose, because you played best of 5, I believe, in ETF2L. I mean, I think it's really a question of how many points is Beyblades going to be able to not give up. I mean, because I don't know, Toucans are looking incredibly strong. I mean, yourself, kind of after the Viaduct, what are your thoughts coming into Gully Wash here?
I think really one of the key stats here, I linked the logs in Mumble if you want to look at them. But if you look at the piece, he died 4 times, right? And just if you look overall at the entire Toucans team, like they just died so little. You have Silver Tosspot going 21-8. Crucially, the Spy went 15-8. Like the Spy was doing work. Tomato. I don't know. Let's just call him Tomato. But yeah, like he was doing work, and I saw a lot of the times he would just like walk in from the front and just not get shot and then backstab a heavy. So there's definitely a bunch of awareness issues that you have to deal with. I will say though, I think the few times I played Gollyos, I feel like it plays very differently from Viaduct. Just in the way it feels. Both maps require a lot of coordination, and there's no doubt which team had the better coordination in that game, but just the map feels very different. There's 2 very distinct flanks for the most of the time. There's Big Door and there's Choke. And the team's ability to rotate the pressure between those 2 doors can be very crucial. So it's not just sort of beating your head against a wall, which is kind of what the Viaduct can feel like sometimes, where, there's basically one avenue of attack, and you just have to all go in at the same time and focus fire really well. On Gollywash, it's a little bit differently. You can send people behind in Big Door. You can try to rotate pressure from one place to another. So I feel like there's more room to maneuver if you have really strong mobile classes. Although, unfortunately, I think Budget Toucans do seem to have the stronger classes there, too, as well. But it's a new map, and some teams are just really bad on it. And if we go into a golden cap, which is pretty normal in Highlander, I'd say, just because of the closer scores, we haven't seen, what do they call, Beyblade Bonanza Extravaganza. They haven't lost a single golden cap this entire season. So, I feel like they're clutch, but it's looking pretty grim for them at the moment.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they want to come out here with, and kind of to your point of the strategies and whatnot, and kind of it definitely does play differently. Obviously, every map type is going to play a little bit differently. Payload versus Koth, and even different Koth maps and CP maps are going to be always play a little bit differently. When it comes to Gully Wash, I find that this map in particular comes down a lot to your flank classes, because the thing is that ultimately your combo classes are going to consistently get into deadlocks where they can't do anything, because you can't push into their enemy combo dry, because they're going to have a sticky trap. You can't just get aggressive off that. So either you need your sniper to make a pick, but having a sniper make a pick in these situations tends to actually be pretty hard, because either you have to work your sniper in through Big Door, which means the enemy team has to give that up to you for free, or you have to get one through Choke, and if the enemy team dies from a headshot through Choke, well, then the enemy team's bad, because you should not be losing somebody peeking Choke where a sniper's watching when it's a completely unnecessary peek to take. And so kind of to that point is that working in your flank classes, making sure that ultimately a lot of time is where the wins are going to happen, especially when it comes to the downtime where you become a little bit stalematey, is working in those picks. If you get 1 to 2 picks on the flank, that means your flank can then push through from Big Door, and then you basically force the enemy team to have to make a decision where it's like, all right, they have to fight behind them, then you can have your team pushing from Choke, you can kind of pincer them. And then the other thing kind of with this, and this is why I think in particular Beyblades is going to struggle very strongly on this map, is that in Highlander, because there's so many respawns, there's so many players kind of going on at the same time, is that you have to be like aggressive and quickly. Like you cannot wait on that as we get the ready up coming in here to the first mid fight, and I will let you Beater take this off and we'll see who's going to come out on top, as the Toucans have been looking incredibly strong.
Sure, we see Shaggy going through lower and actually going to lock down the choke of the enemy team, and the entire Jelly actually gets the first pick here. Heavy is in a very good position. He's got the high ground, actually for both teams here. And Shaggy is taking a lot of damage, but it looks like he's actually going to take down the Heavy. So far it looks like business as usual, as the two budget Toucans are doing a lot of work here. But actually the medic goes down to a really nice bomb in there from the soldier from Beybladers. And look at that. That was a great mid there. It looked pretty sketchy for Beybladers, but just all of a sudden a massive soldier bomb just opened it up for his team. And look at that. The medic for red is alive. I can't say his name. Damn it.
Oh, it's Poth is his name. He just aliasing here. Pothaner or Pothaner, okay. Something like that. As the second point does go down in the favor of Beyblade, as they continue to try to work this momentum, Poth holding at 100%. As they're getting ready in lobby, they're figuring out where they want to push through right now. And it looks like they want to go Riverside, or maybe they're just going to hold in lobby and kind of get ready for this. But Peace coming up to 45%, and you can't wait too long in this. You don't want to let the enemy medic get uber ready. And looks like Beyblades are going to push through this lobby area, maybe through Shutter. It looks.
Yeah, they're bleeding pretty badly. Looks like they're waiting for the medic, but now, or for the sniper, sorry, but here comes the Uber. Like, they're going in through main, and they're getting bounced around a lot. They get down to Sentry, but so far, like, Peace is still alive, and there's still a scout on him. Peace is so weak, but Peace will survive, and nobody from Toucans actually survived, or basically died. So now it's only the spy up. I don't know where he's hiding out. He's actually in lobby, and he might have been spotted. I think he bumped into someone. Yeah, the Heavy definitely knows where he is. And now there's a Pyro actually hiding here. The spy's going to uncloak on the point, but unless this Pyro makes the throw of the Sentry, that will not work. Yeah, he just juggles him, toys with him. Basically like a cat with his food. And a lot of people went down trying to defend second here. I don't think they should have done that.
I think actually it might have been a respawn camp out of Shaggy. I think that... Yeah, I think he got a sticky trap on the door. I could be wrong there, but I believe that is what I saw. Is this midpoint does go down in the favor right now of Toucans. But that final push into that last point, the thing I did not like about the way Beyblades played that is they didn't put any pressure onto the point. They kind of just scattered their damage. Nobody really focused it, and so it's like if you're going to go in not focus the point, you need to focus your damage. But they didn't do that. And if you get onto the point, it actually creates a distraction for the enemy team where they have to figure out, do they want to fight or do they want to defend? But here we have the Uber charge ready to go through the choke side, and it'll just be a matter of when does Toucans want to push.
Yeah, we see, here it comes, right, as you say it. The Heavy is very close. I don't think he can get out alive. He actually does a pretty good effort, but no. Pyro's not close enough to save him. And just, I think too many people holding too close. There's still a scout forward and a soldier as well. And I think they're just going to get completely overwhelmed. The rest of the team was just trying to get out alive. And yeah... That's not going to work at all. The spy's actually making his way onto the last team. He can make a pick. He decides not to go for it. They don't need to. But yeah, people are just holding too close there. I don't think the Heavy should ever be that close unless they want to make the enemy team spend their entire Uber on just killing the Heavy. But
yeah. Well, it's the thing is that when you're at an Uber disadvantage, you don't hold choke. You actually hold in the upper area. If you're at even advantage, you can kind of make a different play for it, as Jelly trying to make a miracle shot on the balcony side. But yeah, generally in Highlander, you want to have someone up in the upper. If you're at a disadvantage, you hold in the upper area so you can't get pushed in with Uber, because they lost their medic incredibly easily, as you said, in the Heavy overextending as well. And I mean, again, it just seems like Beyblade's kind of weakness is when it comes down to their positioning. And so we'll see what they come to as they're holding on to this last point, 30% behind in Uber advantage, but they should be able to get it in time of this push unless Peace goes right away, and it looks like Toucan is going to be pushing through this Riverside.
Yeah, it might not be fast enough though. They really took their time here. Koiba actually goes, that's the demo. Now they can play the point if they so want to. They've sent 2 people into water, and here comes the Uber. They're getting blasted down by this Pyro, and it's only the demo getting Uber, but he puts Sneakies on the point while 3 people come up from the water. A ton of time on the point, but this is Heavy, and the Heavy is super weak, and the counter Uber does come in. They weren't fast enough, and there's Heavy on the point. They're not shooting at him though. He's so weak. There we go. Finally, a good hold. A little bit too slow there. I think they waited a little bit too long with the Uber, and they didn't have enough people in the actual Uber itself. It was only the demo, and he wasn't actually focusing the pyro, trying to blast him back. So a good hold there. I didn't quite like the push here. See Koiba trying to hold big door. I do like that they played the point though, because the demo was down. So I guess that's what they were going for here. But a pretty easy recap coming out, and we'll see. They have a small Uber advantage, but it can be pretty difficult to utilize this kind of an advantage pushing from mid into second, or from second into mid. But we'll see how they play it.
If they pushed right away, they actually might have had a chance because the respawn wave for Toucans was still back, just coming up. But looks like we're going to have Diawib getting into this midpoint, giving some intel to his team on the spy class. 42 actually hiding in this big door area, as well as the scout trying to make a baiting a play there, just finds out the spy. But this is going to be our first kind of stalemate fight right now, and actually Poth does have 100% Uber, and they have advantage. And it looks like they're not going to use this advantage, and that's going to be a big mistake out of Beyblade, because anytime, this is what I'm talking about, it's like you have maybe like 5 seconds to utilize this before it works against you, and they're opting to not use it in their favor, and so there you go. It's both backs going to 100%.
Yeah, the walnut goes down, and that's pretty critical, right? Because we're in this stalemate situation, and that means that the sniper can just bully Big Door. He will be completely uncontested unless people want to overextend into an entire team. But the sniper's actually not in Big Door. I don't quite understand why. It seems like a prime opportunity for him. But now they're pressuring both Big Door and the choke, and they actually kind of seem to be winning both fights. See Chef trying to go behind. He's actually fighting a soldier and a scout, and Silver Tosspot has gone all the way behind. And I don't think the enemy team actually realizes Silver Tosspot is up top, along with actually a spy. So we'll see. This should be very disconcerting for Red Team if they don't pay attention. But actually the Uber gets forced in choke. And so far the Uber is really superior coming out for Beybladers. It looks like Peace will actually get out alive. He actually has to go through drop down, but Shaggy does not get out alive. So this is a pretty poor Uber. Now we have a heavy fight. Shaggy, no, the blue heavy actually won that fight. But now finally we see blue team having the man advantage, and they will be pushing second. Silver Tosspot onto the medic. He was behind lines the entire time, and now finally he's going to make his move. Milks the demo. So if he just hits a couple of meat shots, he can actually fully heal up. And now the spy trying to shank down this medic finally goes down to the pistol that does 0 damage. And here we go. And Silver Tosspot just still trying to get this demo while the rest of his team capped. And he's so close to getting him. He actually does get him, even though he just shoots him through a pyro. So wow. The demo being down actually allows the team to actually push last, because they can just put time onto the point, but they might just want to wait for the Uber advantage. But the heavy overextend really badly here. They do get the demo man forward, but I don't really see the reason why the heavy would be that far forward.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure myself. This piece is coming up to 95% right now, and they should just be pushing straight in. No heavy currently to be able to defend this. The spy is going to put a back cap onto the second point to create a little bit of distraction, but not enough to really do anything. And here comes the Uber being popped off onto the Riverside. Soldier's going to jump in onto the medic, trying to get some damage done onto him. Not able to connect with just enough. Poth is able to keep himself alive. So close. And that Uber push was just incredibly odd as he used the soldier to try to suicide in, but nobody else to follow this up. And here comes the spy actually onto the point to create a distraction. But still, again, nobody from Toucan is following this up. Link, and he plays off this, and that's going to give Poth an Uber advantage. But generally speaking, have Uber advantage on the defensive side doesn't matter too much because it's hard to push out from. But it looks like Toucan's going to play this incredibly passively and safely, and backing up to the second point, and the spy does at least can intel that to his team, so we should see a push here out of Beyblades as they're going to go to this upper area.
Yeah, Walnut pushing up top, and it was actually a soldier that forced the Uber before. That was 42, so that's why the Uber looked so bad, because he forced it in top lobby. But yeah, see Walnut having a really good view here on the heavy, actually takes down the mini instead. But I think the sniper Walnut here will just be able to bully out the entire enemy team. That should cause for an easy second cap. But actually, there's a lot of people pushing last here, and they had to send a couple of people back forward. So now it's Jelly and Big Door here, trying to get this heavy, who's just desperately jumping for his life. Actually, the heavy dodging is too strong. Can't quite get him. That's Jelly with the surprise accidental body shot onto a scout. The second has been capped, though. But I think it might not just be enough. There's a spy behind the point here, trying to hide. And they haven't actually found him, so he got out alive. But now Peace with a full Uber advantage and a bunch of picks on his side coming out here. And they're going to Uber in through main now. There's a pyro here coming in. This heavy needs to... Is he out of ammo? He's just punching people. This looks so odd. I don't know how he goes down. That was weird. As as Red Medic is just desperately trying to dodge here and not die, and so far he's doing a really good job of it, but now all the picks come, there's time on the point, just an ND on the point, and the ND is enough. Finally get the first cap of his mid. Very chaotic last push here coming out, but eventually it works.
Yeah, so there you go, Toucan taking down the first point after about 10-minute fight. Took a couple pushes into last year to finally secure it, but they did a good job there focusing down the kills and just kind of separating out the team with that back push on the last point as we come out into the second mid-fight here. Shaggy doing a good job getting some stickies down onto choke, but nobody's going to be coming up that way, so it's not going to make much of a difference as each time is going to the enemy team's choke.
Chef's
as soldiers jumping
right in. Doesn't quite get him, though.
And that's going to be enough, though, as Demlin actually does go down. Peace able to keep himself alive, but now Shaggy not there, and that's a big deal, as they're going to try to be able to get themselves alive. Here comes 42 up, gets air blasted in the air, trying to get some rockets down onto the medic. Peace gets tossed up, but able to keep himself alive, as the mid-fight again goes out to Beyblade, as it did go in the first round, but we'll see if they can change their fate and continue on here to at least tie up the game.
Yeah, Ubers are still even, so they won't quite be able to ride the advantage too hard. But the 42 putting on a ton of pressure up top, and they have time on the point, so I think they'll get a pretty easy second point here. And actually 42 in behind here on the medic, gets the Uber force. Great job there by 42, jumping in from behind. Both Ubers do get forced here, but definitely a superior position coming out for Beybladers. As a Kuiper overextends a bit, gets taken down by the snipers, as the blue spy gets picked up by the Pyro. The Pyro doing his job, being the spy checker. And look at that! All of a sudden, just so many people have gone down for Toucans, and we might just see a brave push here, but no. This would be a pretty good time to go crits if I was a Beyblade medic. What do you think?
Crits into last definitely could be a little bit of a risky play. It would be an unusual one, but it definitely could be something that works out, as Poth did go down about the same time, so it would give you a slight advantage, but I mean, at this point, you really don't need to get frags, I think, to take it. Really, you just need to get people in water, push up from behind, just be a little bit more clinical in their pushing, and we'll see if Beyblade can do anything with that, as we're probably going to come into a stalemate here. I'm guessing they're not going to push until they get both Ubers up, but I don't even know if that's really worthwhile, because even if both teams have Ubers, you're not going to use your Uber to an advantage. All you're using your Uber then is to literally just like trade Ubers and then re-push afterwards, unless something else happens. Jelly does go down here, so no sniper for the next 16 seconds, but they lost their Demon and Copa as well on the offensive side, so Beyblades is going to be slowed down that much longer. They actually did have a slight Uber advantage, but they can't use it, or probably will not use it, as they did lose their Demo Man. And a lot of kind of just trading back and forth of players, but it looks like Beyblade is going to hold on to this 100%, about 10% advantage, but obviously they're not going to use it. And so now it's just a question of how do they want to push this, and will they be able to be clinical enough to take this point as they lose another one in lobby?
Yeah, they do have a spy in position behind the medic. He's standing on the dispenser, so if he's smart about it, he can get a pick here. It looks like he's actually going to be scared away by the Pyro. So it looks like Beybladers, they're just kind of waiting it out. Actually, they get forced by a scout. That Silver Tosspot gets the medic force, so great job by him. So we'll see if we see a counter push coming out from Peace and his team and the rest of Toucans. But they might not opt to do it. But they can't hold last forever. It looks like they are going to push.
Yeah, it looks like, they're going to be coming up to Riverside. Jelly actually overextending a little bit from his team. He's going to get killed by that soldier. Taking down the demo. As there's a soldier going in for the medic, gets the force off onto Peace, and that's going to be prompting out the push in this upper area, but that may be enough, as we actually have the scout going into this lobby area, trying to 1v1 the heavy, ends up losing his life, but here we got the sniper inside the big door, and the defense coming out on the second point. Not too bad. Shaggy actually should go down here. He's overextended from the rest of his team. The Pyro's going to be jumping in onto the medic, is actually going to try to force him, holding down that W key, able to keep the medic down. Yes, he does! And there you go, the defense holding on to the second point just enough maybe, but the Devilman is alone, and he should go down as well, but the red team needs the reinforcements to come in to be able to defend this.
Yeah, I can't believe that Pyro. He pressed that W key all right, and it worked. The damage has been buffed. The degrees was actually kind of scary if you just stand still and they just run into you. They'll kill you very fast. We see even Ubers once again coming out here. So you actually see a scout trying to put time on the point. I don't quite understand what he's doing in there. He has the fly scout loadout going out there, but Yeah, Soldier tried to jump in onto the medic as well, but that seemed like a very ambitious push onto second there. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Like, it was literally just a scout and a soldier, and that was it. I don't know what they were trying to make happen there. So this could cause not Beybladers, the other team, Toucans, to maybe try to work their magic in big door. They're actually still holding up top as if they're on an uber disadvantage. I feel like they could move forward and try to create some more momentum, but it looks like they're content to just park the bus and sit back. But oh my god! Maybe that's what they were waiting for. Tomato takes down the medic, and that will definitely cause Peace to move forward and down from his top perch. Looks like they will be going in through choke, taking down their demo and their heavy. That's what they're looking for. Tomato finally goes down, but he did his job already, that's for sure. Actually, Shaggy goes down to a nice pipe from Koipa. That could slow down the push quite a bit, and yeah, so far it looks like they're not really doing it. Chef getting 2 nice kills in big door though. He's gonna, oh my god, just airshot the ever-living crap out of that scout trying to jump him. So Chef just on his own, pretty much just willing this push into existence. I think he's just calling for the rest of the team to just come in here. And they're actually just going to Uber onto this Pyro. It takes down the heavy. Kind of seems like an unnecessary Uber. They do get a lot of presence and kills out of it though. So, you know, mid will definitely get taken. And this Pyro, he's just plus forwarding, and the medic gets abandoned. Oh, can he get the medic too? He's so close to getting him, but looks like he will survive just in time. But what a great play there by Chef and Victor.
Yeah, so we're going to continue that momentum coming through big door right now. Poth actually out of position once again. Going to be pushed up on this choke side, connecting back with this engineer and Pyro, who's going to do their best to defend it, as well as a sniper up top, but they should be easily taken out with any sort of aggression right now. But they're actually kind of backing up. They're giving a chance here, but here comes Chef jumping in up top, trying to take him down, but there you go. He actually gets killed himself. Poth now alone. Nobody is nearby him. He needs to be able to arrow his medic, but somehow the defense is coming up from the red team, and Poth stays alive, and there's only 3 alive on the blue side. The scout is going to take down the heavy from behind, as well as try to win this 1v1 against the engineer. And Silver, at least the silver lining in this, keeping alive, pushing to the lobby, but the second point should go down in the favor. And the nice job there killing this Pyro, trying to make a play, but wow. That should not have gone in the favor of Beyblade, but it exactly did. And here we go as they take the midpoint and have 100% Uber ready to go.
Yeah, Koiba goes down to Silver Tossbot there, but man, Poth, the red medic, just stayed alive for so long. He was in so much trouble for so long, and he was just so weak. The sniper's actually sniping him from spawn here. That's going to cause Poth to just pop his Uber just to be safe, and I can't say I blame him for it, but this Uber is just getting completely stunned by a Pyro, and the medic is up top. There's actually a scout on the medic, gets taken down by Peter Smiley Face, just jumps up there with the fly gun and takes down the medic. Great job. But I still think this push might not just be good enough. But as I say that, yeah, Chef is just too weak to make any kind of jump, and they will get the point. So eventually the push does work, but the medic did go down, and I think Puff, that Uber, it looked kind of sketchy, but I think it was justified. A sniper in spawn is just so uncomfortable to deal with, and I guess it was called that the enemy team was up top. Red will have the Uber advantage here. We'll see what they do with it. So far, they're just peeking and prodding in top lobby. They have to be kind of careful. Toucans have been playing it pretty aggressively on last. Like, they just keep peeking out and trying to get picks, and they've been pretty good at it.
Yeah, the important part here is making sure that they keep their flank classes alive on the river side. Actually, 42 is currently on the black box to sustain his life away from his team, but it'll be interesting to see how they want to hold this. I mean, that's right now, Poth is on to 100% right now, and it looks like they want to push through main. That's exactly what they're going to do. Is this team going to be able to join in? Yes, they are. Here comes the Scout Pyro as well. They're going to try to be focusing down the medic. Medic dancing for his life. Peace is able to finally go down, but no capture time is coming down at the point, but here comes Fizz from the water side, taking down the Scout from behind. Nobody's actually focusing him. Fizz fully revved up onto the point. They need to have somebody to be able to defend it. Here comes the Spy, but the Engineer and Spy themselves are going to be able to come in to defend this. Engineer alone. Here comes the Pyro. The Pyro able to get it, and there you go. 1-1. And this is a tie, and Beyblade might be able to steal some points this game.
Yeah. Never underestimate them, man. That was really good. I think that was a really good push. Like, just the way they got the medic down pretty early, and then you just had the pressure coming in from all the different sides. So I think that was a really good push, and it was barely enough. The Toucans, they have really good DM, so nothing is free against them. But yeah, 1-1. Looks like Shaggy's going to continue to play up from his own choke, while Kuiper will play from the lower ground. And both teams just continue to take the enemy side. There's actually, once again, the soldier jumps onto the medic, gets 0 damage done onto him, but the Spy gets the soldier right away. And so far, it looks like we have Toucans in the better position so far on this mid. The Pyro's up on the high ground with his medic. And everyone else from Red seems to be on the low ground here. So for the first time, Toucans with a good mid here. The medic goes down as well. Looks like we see the Oxo Cuboid, the Red Pyro hiding here. He might be behind lines. Yeah, he is behind line. He's been called now, but he actually has the no sniper to deal with. But yeah, easy second point coming out here. It's actually a single Pyro from behind. It actually does pull quite a lot of people back. Finally goes down. But let's see what they go. So far, it looks like both teams have favored going through lower main, which is kind of weird to me. I thought Shutter would be the go-to position, but...
Well, Shutter can be easily pushed back if you have a Pyro nearby. That's generally why you don't do it. I mean, but a Pyro can push back any of these choke points if he's effectively able to do it, but usually your Pyro is going to play around your medic, and the medic's going to play around Shutter Door. So, that's kind of one of the reasons, though. The Pyro is dead right now, so if they wanted to go through, they could do just that, as Peace is holding on to 100% Uber. They need to get aggressive a little bit sooner. Spy's getting ready on point. He's probably going to do he's going to create distraction on the point. But his team's not there to follow it up. I mean, you need to sync that up. Like, push an Uber, have the Spy decloak, like, that's a very easy play to make.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, they're being so slow. You know, I feel like even if you're down a couple of picks, you should still go on this Uber advantage. You know, now they have no Uber advantage, and like there's almost no spawn advantage on Gollywash. You know, you just spawn so close to it. And actually, a Soldier jumps in onto the medic here. Poth holding onto that Uber like a real man. Doesn't pop it. No pussy popping coming out from him, and now he's full health again. So great job there. But yeah, any kind of Uber advantage has been lost as 42 tries to pressure Balcony, but he gets reflected and piped and everything else that was in top lobby, basically. See, another Spy trying to sneak his way in onto last. We'll see if he can make any kind of play. So it wouldn't be the first time he gets a crucial medic pick. But no, I think the Pyro is onto him. Yeah, there we go. He actually almost gets the Spy. He does get the sniper. Oh my god, like, Domato, he was on fire from the Pyro, but I guess the Pyro didn't notice him. And I guess that's going to be enough. The Uber comes in from Riverside, and a ton of time on the point. Like, there's just so much time on the point. That's going to force everyone to just jump down onto it. Look at Chef on the high ground here. Now he's just going to stand on the point. It actually almost goes down, but yeah, wow. Just playing the point, they really paying off. Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, Peter was right there, able to keep him out. Only two were alive at the end there, but Soldier was able to get the point capture right before he died, as there's some talk in chat about the surprise factor of how that point went down. That's going to give Toucans the lead right now, coming in with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left. This is not out of the range for Beyblade to come back and be able to do this, but they need to do it quickly, as both teams have been a little bit timid. But here comes Soldier. He's not timid right now, jumping across the point, getting some damage down onto Peace, but not taking him down below 100. So he's going to be able to keep alive, but no sniper right now for the Beyblade, and they got to be careful as the Soldier Chef coming in from behind takes down Poth, and down he goes. Only 4 alive here on the red side, and this might be disaster for the Beyblade, as Toucans are ready to push not only to the midpoint, but all the way to last if they play this correctly. They did lose Peace, but that shouldn't matter for the next 2 points at least.
I really didn't like the way Beyblade played that mid. They ran their entire combo, including the heavy and the medic, up through the elbow. And that's just so slow, and they know that Shaggy has been playing a choke every single time, so Shaggy just completely shut them down, and they had to walk down back into Big Door. So the combo was basically completely useless the entire mid. So yeah, Peace did go down, so that is pretty crucial. He still has the Uber advantage because Puff went down way later, but I don't know. We'll see how they play it out. They get second for free, and actually we see a defensive crit screen. I don't know when the last time I saw that on Gollywash. That's where would you even go with it? I guess through Shutter, if you just like Uber in a Soldier or crits a Soldier through or something.
I know where you go. You go out of the playoffs doing that. That's where you go.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's going to work at all. I mean, you're at a disadvantage. I know you want to catch up, but I mean, I think a quick fix is a better idea than a crits Krieg. I mean, because especially at least quick fix you can try to sustain in the fight, but here we go. Spy's going to try to make a play on Poth. Also did see that the crits Krieg is out, so that's probably going to prompt a push quickly out of Peace. As they're at 91%, probably wanting to go into this final point. They've been very slow on the pushes, but Macy's going to put himself, that's the heavy, going into water right now. As I don't know if anybody saw that. He actually did get seen by Fizz there, but we're going to see the crits Krieg gets popped off onto the medic, but of course it's not going to matter. Here comes the Uber, much better in that circumstance. Here comes Heavy underneath Pyro as well. They're blasting everybody on the point, but Soldier able to get the defense onto that. Mech's going to jump onto the point and gets the capture. the medic piece doing just that, not dying from that crits creek, and there you go, 3-1 in the favor of Toucans, and yeah, the confusion of crits is coming out there, and I really do not agree with that decision.
It was definitely very weird. I also think just the fact that it didn't look like Beyblade realized the heavy was in the water. They saw the pyro go down there, but either way, like there's just no coverage in Riverside at all. Like they didn't get damaged at all doing it. Shaggy once again going choke, as he's been doing every single mid, while the Koiba is going through floor, playing down there. So actually, it looks like we have really good positioning coming up on Beybladers here. They have the point right now, and now they're pushing forward. And the Spy's in a really good position to get some picks coming in from behind. But actually, Domator will be the first to get a crucial pick. Here comes the soldier, jumps the heavy and the medic, but jumping a heavy as a soldier, that's not good. See Poth in big door here with the pyro, but Chef comes in from behind. I think that's the second mid there where Chef just comes in from behind. It looks like Shaggy just goes choke, shut that down, and then Chef jumps in from behind, and then just goes in through big door and just flanks them. So I really think Beyblade just needs to shut that down, or at least have eyes on it, or somehow make contest choke more to prevent that from happening so easily.
And we also have Fizz hiding with this Tomislav in this shutter area, so we'll see if he can make a play right now, as Pot just coming back up, 100% in the favor of Peace right now. And this is tends what you see when it comes to Highlander. I don't know if it's the same in 6v6, but once one team starts to get a little momentum, it is incredibly hard to stop it, because, you know, they just keep their foot on the gas pedal, and also players just tend to play a little bit too aggressively on the defensive side. And here we go, Heavy going down into the river area as well as with the pyro, and here comes Uber out, and they're going to do the exact same play again as they're being contested, but the Deadland is coming over the top, putting out a lot of damage onto the point. He's going to put some capture time as well, gets reconnected with the medic just in time. Heavy's coming up as well, and there you go, capture point going down in the favor, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. Such clinical pushes is if you have someone go on the point in water at the exact same time as you push in with Uber, it's so hard to defend, and that's what Beyblade was missing in a lot of their pushes, and Toucan messed up early on, but now they are getting that timing down, and it is working so incredibly effectively as they come out to our 6 mid-fight.
Yeah, the demo also is just staying alive after the Uber and just killing everything that tries to desperately jump onto the point. As we actually see Koiba going choke this time, trying to fight Shaggy, so they actually do try to end it here, but Koiba is just completely alone, gets like 4v1 in choke. So one person going choke will not be enough for them. And just that pick alone will just allow Toucan to just snowball away with this mid. And we see people desperately trying to get out big door. The medic did go down as well, so just no good news, it seems, for Beyblades on this mid at all. Come on, medic, get the sentry. Peace trying to get some points there by getting the sentry. Actually, he's Shaggy going really far forward. He's going to get jumped by a soldier. Maybe that was an overextension. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Putsu gets the nice demo pick there. So we actually see some spy on spy action here. We see a spy spotting a spy, and he's been called. And there we go. Some counterintelligence going on. There's actually a scout silver top spot on this the medic up top, but he gets saved by the walnut. The walnut gets jumped by a soldier, but the soldier, that Chef, will go down as well, or save him. Sorry. And looks like the second point will get capped here. There's a scout up top. Actually, it gets saved here. So a ton of action up top, and Pop is just so weak. There's even a spy behind, but he just barely makes it out alive. But just the amount of pressure he's under is just unreal. As Koiba forces out the Uber, Pop still doesn't have the Uber. Now he has it, and it looks like his team might be able to fight this. A lot of them goes back. The Pyro takes down the demo. And, oh no. Oh, poor Pop. He was just so weak, and he was just milking it. Didn't want to pop it for nothing, but eventually he just ended up not popping it at all. Koiba trying to contest last, but Scout runs onto it.
Scout just walked onto that point, and there's 3 players right next to it. And then I think somebody even stepped on the point to deny it, but then accidentally stepped off or died. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but 5-1 currently in the favor of Toucans, and I think they're looking to finish it off. A minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. That is possible to capture the final point, and I think Toucans want to add insult to injury, put a little salt in the wound, and continue on here. Their aggressive play style combined with just their, I don't know, it just is working so well for them right now.
For the first time, Shaggy gets punished in choke. Gets rushed down by the scout who went choke. Maybe he should have done that earlier. As Peter Smileface just continues to kill people. He got the medic as well. Finally goes down to a mini sentry. The biggest enemy of the scout, the mini, finally takes him down. This is a really scrappy mid. It looks like both teams have just kind of said, alright, screw it, let's just do random stuff. So both medics have gone down, but it looks like also Toucans will be able to get this mid, but pushing forward will not be that good. We see Puff on the quick fix. Maybe he'll have his soldier just jump him into the enemy combo and uber saw everyone down. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, he's in the skybox now. He is on the heavy. Get him, get him. Ah, heavy overpowered. As the pyro takes down the scout and taunts him. Easy peasy. But I love the just get jumped into the enemy combo like that. It's so awesome with the quick fix.
Yeah, and Toucans pushing in here with massive advantage. 9 seconds left on the clock. GGs are going to be coming out here. Congratulations to Toucan taking the 6 points today, securing their playoff spot, and that's going to actually push Beyblade. I believe that's going to keep them out of the contention for the playoff spot since they're not going to be able to move up here. And so congratulations to Toucans being able to secure that. As they're going to take the 6 points today, fairly decisively, definitely deserved win here tonight.
Yeah, it was them all the way. It was a better game on Gollywatch for sure. You know, it was 1-1 for a while, and Beyblades they had quite a lot of good pushes onto last. It was just every once in a while you could really see the DM and the coordination shining through from Toucans. It was just too much. But yeah, a very good game. Let's see if we can get some logs up, because these logs should be much more telling than the Viaduct ones, I think. I can't offhand tell you who did really well. I do think Shaggy had a very good game, especially just the way he shut down every single mid was good.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. He actually came away with the top frags, which is always kind of impressive for a demo man. I mean, demo man, either you get top frags or top damage, and he ended up doing both for his team, as well as a Silver Tosspot, the scout there. He did an amazing job. It seems like he's cleaning up constantly, as well as Jelly, the sniper, who's just going absolutely ham. And compared to the Walnut, I mean, obviously when you're losing, it's hard to be able to get to do well as sniper, but I mean, basically 2-1 in comparison. Jelly at 26 frags, Walnut only at 14, and I mean, just great job out of Toucan there. And but the thing is like, you know, kind of looking at the game and looking at the stats, obviously they're going to be very one-sided in the favor, when it comes to Toucan, because they won the game 5-1. But in those first 2 rounds that were incredibly close to being contested, I don't feel like Beyblade played that badly. I just feel like if they made a few, like, you know, like if they just smoothed some of the errors that they're making, I think they definitely could have at least probably taken like 1 or 2 rounds more, and maybe this made this game a little bit more contested. And they have the DM, but it's just like their positioning and their pushing timing and stuff like that, it just seems to be off just enough to kind of work against them. But I think coming into next season, they're going to look really promising if they can fix that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like, a lot of it was positioning stuff where we would call out they were holding too far forward, or like 3 people would go forward and commit while the rest would just back out. And that kind of stuff will really make a big difference. So there's definitely a lot of work to be done, and a lot of work that they can easily do. So yeah, it looks like I recognize Shaggy and Silver Tosspot from like some Sixes teams, so I'm just going to assume it's the Sixes Master Races here carrying them. Or at the very least, there's the fact that their teammates may cause them to have really good coordination. But yeah, that was definitely a very good game. I want to also point out the medic. Peace had like a monstrous heal per minute rate. He had 1140 heals per minute, which is
crazy.
Yeah, it's really high. Like, I think the highest I've ever done is like 12, but I think it's almost impossible to have it higher. So, absolutely nuts.
Great. Well, I think we can probably wrap it up here. Beater, any shouts you want to give before we head it out tonight?
No, just thank you for casting with me. Thank you for bearing with me and my lack of a Highlander. I'm kind of out of the loop. I have played some Highlander, but it's been a while. Yeah, thank you for everyone. Thank you for watching. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for joining us out here tonight. Congratulations again to Toucan, and thank you to Beyblades for putting us and showing us a great game tonight. Thanks, of course, always to John, the man on the camera behind the scenes, the secret man, whispering in my ear. I don't think he did any time tonight, but, you know, the dream is real. And as we will continue into this playoffs series, I don't know if we'll be covering any high of the playoff games, but they usually do cover the high grand finals when they do happen. But make sure you guys keep tuned to BlackOut Gaming TV, as we will continue to bring great coverage as always. Thank you so much again, Peter and John, and everybody else. Have a great night.